Hello, friends. Happy Good Friday. It is Good Friday, Easter 2016. And I have so much I want to say and so much I want to write and just process and pour out as on today, this Good Friday. And I thought, well, I'll just speak it in video and share with you guys. This has been such a special Easter to me after having been in Israel just 2 weeks before. And, I've known the story of the cross for as long as I can remember, since birth, really. And I accepted Christ's gift of the cross. But being in Israel, I experienced the cross. I saw the place where the cross was. I saw the place where the tomb was empty. And I just have to tell you that it is a Good Friday. And I cannot imagine how dark that day seemed. That day where the one who had come, they assumed would be their Messiah, was hanging on a cross when darkness fell on the earth. When Jesus took on the sins, my sins and your sins of the world. It is not a Good Friday without the promise of Sunday. And there is waiting involved. And so I just pray that in whatever you're waiting, however you're waiting right now, that you just remember that God is a promise keeper. He's a promise fulfiller. He does what he said. And what he said he would do, he did. He said he would come, walk the earth, that he would die a gruesome, awful death on the cross for you and for me. He would be in a grave, but 3 days later, he would rise again. And having been able to stand in a place where they believe was the grave and see his body is not there, it is risen just as he said. I pray that this Good Friday you celebrate that he is a just as he said God, and whatever you are praying for and pressing into and asking God to do, remember he is faithful to his promises from beginning to end, Genesis to Revelation, and he is writing his glory story in your story right now. And on the dark days when it's like the 3 days that prior to the glory of the resurrection, on those days he is with you in the waiting room. And just one last thing, one thing that's never really talked about in the Easter story to me is when Jesus was taken to Caiaphas's house prior to going to Pilate's, and he would have stayed that night in the dungeon at Caiaphas's house. And I went in that dungeon. It is a pit. Jesus, the Son of God, was lowered into a pit of darkness so that I never have to stay stuck in any pit. So this Easter, come alive today that he went into the pit for you. He died on a cross for you, and he rose from the grave for you. Glory. Hope you have a great Easter.